A lot of losers this week in the Big 12. The biggest loser, still the Baylor Bears. Not even close. God bless, guys. What was that? The seat is hot now, very warm. Dave Aranda has gone below 500 in 2 of 3 seasons at the helm of the Baylor football program. But oddly enough, one of those seasons was the greatest in program history. 2 disappointing years, and this year obviously is shaking out as a disappointing year. That seat is hot. And if this team goes 3-9 with 8 home games or 4-8, he might get the can after the year's over. I've always liked the guy, and I've spent a lot of time around him. I really do. I really do appreciate him and his program. But there's a chance he's not here next year, not at Baylor next year, after what happened this weekend. That was really embarrassing. I've dogged in them a lot. I'm good. That's what I'm going to give you, Baylor. You're the biggest loser. That's what you need to know. Can you clean it up? I don't know. That's the worst offensive line in the Big 12. It's the worst offensive line in the Big 12. Yeah, for sure. Defense, it's the worst defense in the Big 12. There was only one team who gave up more points this weekend, and it was TCU against Deion Sanders-led Colorado and Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders and TJ Finley, 2 very different quarterbacks. Baylor, you're a big loser. BYU, your offense is a loser. Keaton Slovis, you got Pitt Keaton Slovis. Oof, bad. Your defense, a winner. 3 interceptions of Shoemaker. I watched a lot of the end of the game. BYU hits very hard. 14 points, 14-0 is a very boring, bad football game, but you won. And the defense was great against Sam Houston. Welcome to the FBS. Sam Houston Bearcats meet BYU. You won. That was good. Overall, are you a winner or a loser? You didn't cover the 20 points. I'm going to go BYU overall loser this week because the offense was bad and Keaton Slovis is supposed to be what pulls the needle, but like a 51% loser, 49% winner because the defense was so stellar. Other losers here, TCU, obviously. My gosh, guys. Shedeur Sanders, 510 yards and 4 touchdowns. Ever heard of a defense? Kendall Briles wasn't terrible. I did think Chandler Morris was bad. So bad. His dad's a terrible coach. Maybe Chandler Morris is a bad quarterback. 24 for 42, 279 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions against a defense from Colorado that is, it's not makeshift. That's the wrong word for it, but they just threw it together. Ton of credit to Colorado. Colorado, a really, really good football team. Also, Cincinnati, you're a winner. I forgot to tell you earlier. Other losers, Oklahoma State. Whoa, man. The University of Central Arkansas Bears. And that's what you do at Boone Pickens Stadium. You allow UCA, Will McElvain, to come out and dominate your football program. You won, but it looked terrible. Garrett Rangel, the starting quarterback, and everybody's pissed off. Like, oh, this Garrett Rangel guy is bad. Why are we starting him at quarterback? And then Alan Bowman comes in. I saw all the tweets are like, Alan Bowman's in the game. Huge for Oklahoma State. 13 for 24, 80 yards. Guys, I tried to tell you last week, Alan Bowman is a liability at quarterback. He is not good at quarterback. Gunnar Gundy was a better quarterback than Alan Bowman. He sat at Michigan for 2 years because he was a de facto coach for their team. Yeah, that's what he was at Michigan. And you were like, oh, yeah, our starting quarterback is Alan Bowman. He sucked. He really sucked, man. Do you go with Garrett? Do you go with Gundy? You got to go with somebody not named Alan Bowman. He was bad. I loved like the multi-headed rushing attack, though. Thought that Oklahoma State showed a lot of promise on the ground. They're going to have to do that to win in Big 12 play. And I'm going to give you a little benefit of the doubt here because Oklahoma State's not going to blow anybody out this year. They're not. This is not a team built to blow somebody out. It is a team built to just win football games, however it can. So it looks on paper, you're like, oh no, 27-13 against the University of Central Arkansas Bears, my mom's alma mater. Go fight Bears. At the same time, I think like Oklahoma State, yeah, this sucks. You're a loser this week. You are absolutely a loser, but you might be a loser every week that just wins football games People that were screaming at me like, oh, you picked Oklahoma State to be good. They're not. You're not good at football. A case in point, man. But you're still going to win games because this schedule is so stupid easy. Mike Gundy's just going to win games this year. You're a really bad 9-win team. Embrace that. The Big 12 has one of those every other year. Finally, another big, terrible loser. Texas Tech. Did you know Texas Tech scored 20 points in regulation against Wyoming? 13 points in overtime against Wyoming. Oh. What do we do, Joey McGuire? What do we do? Tech fans, as we look around the room at each other through our tortilla masks and just say, what now? Baylor and Texas Tech and TCU can all sit in a room together. Those Texas schools, the irate 8, the hateful 8, whatever, and say, what do we do now, guys? This weekend was the big suck. We were bad. We officially have bad. You all made the Big 12 look embarrassing. I don't know what to say to you. Baron Morton, maybe? Tyler Shuck, leave him out there. He wasn't good enough to beat Wyoming. He wasn't good enough to put up more than 20 points in regulation against Wyoming. Is that your king? Is that your king? I love Joey McGuire. Tech was my dark horse. Now everything's all rearranged, guys. Kansas and UCF even took care of business. And you guys just looked bad. Maybe Wyoming and Texas State go 12-0, but they won't. And obviously neither will you. Just a bad weekend for the Big 12. Let's just turn the Big 12 off and back on and see what happens. This has been, and it always will be. This was an emergency pod because so many of you guys sucked. Locked on. Come back tomorrow probably. I'll just keep doing shows. I like talking to you guys. You're my only friends. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. Doce Grande.